Hi guys, happy Sunday with Satan. So, why am I flashing and blinking and all this crazy stuff? Maybe I'll stop it for a minute. Okay, part 11, I think, maybe? Part 12? 9, 10, 11, 12? I'm not sure, so right back into traditional Cornish West Country craft. So, we left off yesterday with the Furry Rites, I think. Fury, yeah. An ecstatic, yeah, fury. So, I can say that word. Really fucking hot. So, alright, now we have Candlemas. And, so this is the Feast of Lights, which is amazing. It's my favorite one. So, is the ritual marker of winter's end and the point of which the days will begin to noticeably lengthen gradually as the sun returns, strengthening the approach of spring. Oh, signaling the approach of spring. So yes, it is also the rite of walking the serpent at the time after the slumber of deep winter, when the serpent, being responsive to the seasonal cycle, as well as the phases of the moon, so will be seen to return from the depths of the cold earth and begin to return the life force to the land. I can't read my own writing. And the badly needed highly and useful sproul, so the vital to the witch's work would slowly become more accessible. So it is for this reason that the witch's power in Cornwall was seen to be renewed at springtime. So for by the time spring had properly arrived, the witch would again have good access to serpentine sproul and thus work their craft more effectively. That is, the full moon is coming now, so I can feel it. It just feels a lot better now. Everything doesn't feel so just drugged down and just crazy. So, but yes, that serpentine flow is amazing. So, the people would be known to queue up in the spring to have their charms re-empowered after having kept them through the winter. So it's also due to the fact that, for this rite, the wise seek to conjure the re-emerging serpent that they traditionally make these rites of gentle fires and encouragement at holy wells, being both a place where such virtues are usually more easily accessible anyway, and from a symbolic point of view, they are watery and vagina-like portals into the depths of the earth through which the serpent may be birthed with the conjurations and the offerings. Interesting. I love it. Alright, now we move from Candlemas to May's Eve, which is, I love May's Eve. I love that. But Candlemas, again, is my favorite. And Samhain. So here arrives the eve of the opening of Summer's Gates. Ooh, that sounds really cult-like, Summer's Gate, like Heaven's Gates. That scares me, but this has nothing to do with that. Just a really crazy thought. Alright, and the final death of winter, so the end of Bukadoo's reign, and the beginning of that of Bukagwitter. So here the sproul of the serpent is in full flow, revealed by the greening of the land and symbolized by the erecting of the maypole. So, to both top this energy, dancing it alive, to mark the marriage of earth and sky at this time of increase and potency. So the rather grand maypole set in Padstow Broad Street has become a traditional meeting place for pagan gatherings, with the masses of other visitors to watch the mysterious and famous rite of the, what is this? Oh my gosh. Abios? So popular has this May Day tradition become that many streets in the village are packed so tightly with people that walking becomes a painfully slow process indeed. That would be terrible, but it would still be so interesting to actually witness that in Cornwall. So, yet somehow the progress of the osses, for there are two main osses, in addition to the children's osses, does not seem to be all that implied by the densely packed crowds. The old os is the red os, whilst the younger is known as the blue os, and by some as the temperance os. So, because traditionally the blue os team differed from their red counterparts in refraining from getting themselves very drunk, which was seen as an essential part of the ritual. So the old original os was traditionally covered with sailcloth blackened with tar, and to get your fingers black from touching the os, that sounds so funny, was a sign that you have received the blessings of this mysterious creature. What creature is this? So today the osses are made from lighter yet sturdy fabric, painted black, so the fun of tarred fingers is no longer possible. Yeah, I would love that. No. Get the tradition of touching the os for good fortune continues, as does the tradition that if a woman is captured beneath the skirt of the os, they will be with child before the end of the year. I love these old wives' tales, and I love them. So there are many theories as to the meanings behind this mysterious ritual, with its hypnotic, primitive music and dancing. One favorite is that put forward by the cunning man Jack Doubt, who encouraged us to look closely at the os to discover that there are actually two characters here. There are two heads, that of the horse and that of the rider. So the head of the rider is clearly intended to be the focus of attention. So for not only it is much larger than the tiny and easy to overlook head of the horse, it is also painted in such a way that you cannot help but to be drawn into its gaze. So if we begin to see the os as the rider rather than the horse, we are reminded that in Old English the word os means old god. Wow, that was loud. And in Cornish and Devonian witch lore, we find that the old black god Bookadoo riding a black horse with burning red eyes and smoky breath. I love that. It's like poetry. So we are reminded also of the traditions of the horse as the vehicle of the seasonal tides. So could it be that the Padstonians have kept alive an ancient rite which observes the final riding forth of the dying black god and wintertide at the beginning of summer? We don't know. Possibly. So it is, after all, a dance in which the os repeatedly falters and kind of dies. A week later, another ancient and famous Cornish May Festival takes place in Helston. Crowds again gather for the celebration of Flora Day, with its Fury dance and a midsummer's play. So the Hallentow, the Furies dance, is now a very gentle, polite, and smartly dressed affair. Ooh, I like that. But in the past would have been a more ecstatic and drunken celebration. So indeed, it was once banned for being so. It is still a joyful occasion, with the streets adorned with greenery and flowers. Ooh. And notably bluebells. I love bluebells, they're gorgeous. And after the official celebrations during the day, a celebratory atmosphere continues well into the night. So yeah, you can obviously, picture what that would be like and how amazing that would be. That would be incredible to experience all of this in Cornwall. Now we have Godawan. Okay, so summer's zenith in Cornwall is a time of much ritual activity, so celebration and old magic. In the west of Cornwall, the ancient midsummer observances survive and were under revival in Penzance, with the Gallowin Festival and the Maisie Day celebrations. So Maisie meaning kind of crazed, or kind of just crazed or cuckoo, or not crazy, but just, little cuckoo. So Gallowin in the Cornish language means the feast of St. John the Baptist. So, and Maisie is derived from the Cornish term for being dizzy, crazed, maddened, or in intoxicated state. The festivities of the past centered around fire. That was like a really giant suspense all the way up to the word fire. Oh my god, I'm almost not even wanting coffee. That's how hot it is. Okay, so, and with folk running around, swinging great squares of burning canvas that had been saturated in tar and attached to the end of large poles, or strong chains. So burning tar barrels were also placed in line up in the middle of the market, Jew Street, for people to run and dance about. So these traditions slowly declined under the pressure of the disapproving authorities but through the through the herd walk and passion of a group of community-minded folk. 1990 saw Gawain and Maisie in Penance Reborn. So today, each year, thousands actually flock to Penance to enjoy carnival processions, music, art, and drama, and serpent dancing. That would be incredible. I mean, I would go. The serpent dance, which has become quite a wild creature, seems to be a spontaneous conjuration and communion with the serpentine flow, which, at this time of year, zeniths in potency. So fire is still an integral part of a spectacular fireworks display, so rising from the seafront by Jubilee Pool. In recent years, very recent years, however, officious authorities and financial interests would appear to be dominating and leaving less and less room for local midsummer traditions, which is sad, which are sadly rapidly deteriorating within the festival. I'm sure they'll be brought back. So Cornish witch lore tells of how midsummer would see all the witches of the West gathering on the steep granite boulder-strewn hill known as Burndowns, so which rises above Tregethren, maybe? I hope I said that right. Which could be translated as Rowan Treeform. I like that. So it lies on the path from the hamlet of Wicca to Zenor, a remote and a wild area in old witchcraft. So here the witches of the West, that would be me, the Wicked Witch of the Midwest. There was a funny comment yesterday. I think it was something about the Wicked Witch, I don't know. A demon, I don't know what it was, but it was about tornadoes. I was freaking out, of course. And it just came down to, I am the Wicked Witch of the Midwest, so. Alright, where did I go? So the witches of the West would light many fires, work magic, and renew their vows to the Old One. So here also was a substantial sacred crucible boulder known as the Witch's Rock. I can't find it on Google Maps or Google Earth, which I'm trying to, and was attributed with magical powers. So tradition states that to touch it 9 times at midnight would protect it from all evil. So the Giant's Rock lies in a field not far from Zenor Church. So tradition holds that to walk 9 times around it at midnight would give one the powers of a witch, perhaps revealing that this was a place of initiation. Probably was a place of initiation, passing down of the power from one witch to another that is about to retire within their coven, hearth, circle, etc. So to this very day, the Giant's Rock may see the midsummer gathering of Cornish witches. So Midsummer's Eve bonfires remain a strong Cornish tradition, with fire beacons becoming ceremonial lit on the top of hills. And very much so, wow, here too. We are all about bonfires here. So from Chapel Brea in West Penwith to Kit Hill, a line of ritual fires snaking from one end to Cornwall to the other. That would be beautiful. That would be seriously beautiful. I mean, it would. Okay, where did I go? So for the survival of this, we have the Old Cornwall Society to thank. Thank you. I am actually looking for a hearth to study with, a Cornish one. So, these official hilltop rites have, however, become much Christianized, although it is extremely difficult for any to deny the ancient pagan spirit behind such practices. In addition to the official gatherings, the wise folk of Cornwall climb the high places of the land to light magical fires of their own. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now we have Guldice. So Guldice is the Feast of Ricks. This is the Cornish celebratory feast associated with the completion of the wheat harvest, and thus sacrificial harvesting, threshing, and grinding of the spirit of the field, being John Barleycorn to some and the corn goddess to others, so who resurrects in the form of ale and bread. So, in Cornwall, there were also observed a number of old feasts around the beginning of the harvest, notably in Morva on the first Sunday of August, commemorating, with much feasting and drinking, of course, a contest of quoit throwing between giants who are acknowledged to be folk memories of powerful land deities or spirits. So here, the local giant conquers his opponent, ensuring the protection of his land, and marries his daughter. Wait. Was that incest? Incestuous? I don't know. Giving the feast ancient names of a battle, death, sanctity of the land, and fertility. Later in the month of August, Cornwall sees the once widespread crying the neck ceremony, which, like the midsummer bonfires, has been revived on a number of Cornish farms by the Old Cornwall Society. The accumulation of the harvest is marked by the ceremonial cutting of the last standing corn, which becomes the neck, and is carried back to the farmhouse, where the bearer of the neck is often doused with a jug of water by the lady of the house, symbolizing the rains needed to nourish the next crop. Now the neck is decorated and sometimes fashioned into a figure or dolly to contain the spirit of the field and ensure a good harvest for the next year. I actually still have mine. Corn dolly. Very neat. So, the neck would be given a place of honor at the table and drunk to during the feast. I wish I could drink. I do. It would have, where did I go? Okay, it would then be hung up in the farmhouse until the next year's harvest was gathered in. So that does make sense. I mean, I'm literally surrounded by cornfields, farmers, everything. So literally, this is like Cornwall in a way. Maybe. No, it's not. I lied, it's not. Okay, so yeah, the next year's harvest was gathered in, and then with the creation of a new neck, whereby the old neck would be burnt, buried, or fed to the farm's finest beast. So in some cases, the neck would be plowed back into the field on the first Monday to follow the 12th night, thus ensuring the continued fertility and productivity of the land, which is incredible and amazing. I love it. So those are two very important festivals. Wait, how many did I go over? Did I go over just one? Or two? No. Candlemas. So we did Candlemas, May's Eve. Got a one. Ghoul Dies, and then tomorrow we'll go on to Allantide. So that one's really interesting with the apples and everything. It's really, the lore behind it and everything that we here in the United States, you can really connect traditions and see how, everything has been, literally, everything is built on paganism, the old ways. So it's literally like the Catholic Church, it's all built on something, pagan. So it's pretty cool, I think. But, alright guys, so, I have more quartz crystals. I don't know if I guys told you that. That's coming tomorrow. Hopefully my more snake vertebrae will be coming. You guys on Patreon will get witch powder. I only have one. I only got my camphor oil, which is really amazing. So I have got to get that done, and I will make witch powder a certain time, day. But I'm going to do it all right by the planetary, by the book. I'm going to go by the book this time and see how well it works. So evidently going by the book is kind of worth it, basically. So yeah, that'll be available for my patrons only. But yes, definitely. And I'm having a hard time trying to get into the post office. I don't know how to get in. I don't think you can. But one more thing before I go, I have to show you guys. Okay, so I have some really good, I have some amazing friends, and I treasure these people so much. And I don't even know how to, it can't describe my love for what I received yesterday. And I think these should be sold. I think these should be sold in all stores. Toy stores. Literally. They should be in the shelves, on the shelves. I should be seeing these on wherever. So I want you guys to tell me. I don't know how to do a poll here on YouTube, but I want you guys to tell me. Okay, if said person would start to make these, would you buy this, and how much would you pay? This, is the most adorable Baphomet ever. Look at those horns. Look at those ears. Look at that head. It's perfect. It is perfect. literally. And he's got his wings. Oh, how cute is that? He's got his tail, little pitchfork tail. I mean, perfect. So how much would you guys pay for that? I would probably pay about 25 to 30, literally. I think that's how much. I think they're worth that much. I mean, literally, the detailing is just amazing. I could never do something like this, so yeah, I just think it's incredible. So you two know who you are. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's my baby. He is my baby. Yeah, he is. I love him. He sits and watches everything. So yeah, he's my little protector now. So I thank you, my two loves. But alright guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, happy Sunday for Satan. I love you all with all my heart. All the way from Venus, all the way back down. And I love you all very much. And everybody be safe, stay cool. And yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. So I love you all and thank you guys for watching very much.